But you know, it really is a struggle. It's a struggle in this country. It maddens me how every day we see so many images and we hear so much talk that's being spewed out into our culture that reinforces the prejudices against my sexuality and my very being. We have a president who's willing to play around with the constitution of this country just to show his disdain of me and others like me who are in love and would like to have the right to have that love formalized, and just, if not more importantly, the civil rights that go along with it. We have people like Tom Cruise filing lawsuit after lawsuit just in case people might think that he is or has been at any time or might ever have once on a rainy night thought about being gay. And you know what, Tom? We don't care. We're much more worried that you might have a chemical imbalance right now. And we have musicians and rappers flooding the airwaves with messages about killing faggots. Hello? Wasn't the black struggle all about stopping hatred being incited? Every day, these and many, many other anti-gay messages, sometimes insidious, sometimes utterly blatant, are fed to us over and over. And as far as we think we've come, and as accepted as we think we are, these messages are still going out there and adding fuel to the fires of hatred that so many Americans have in their bellies against us. But you know what I think is actually worse than that? I think what's worse and more dangerous is that they begin to incite shame within queer people. They start to make us ashamed. They start to make us, and they want to make us believe that maybe we are wrong. Maybe we don't deserve to be treated equally or have the same rights. Maybe that person who was murdered because they were gay was sort of asking for it. The biggest danger we face is not believing in ourselves. There's so much shame about sexuality in America. There really is. So much shame. It's endemic. People don't even want to talk about sex. The government doesn't want to educate the young about it. So you can imagine the shame that's attached to homosexuality. I really think we all should really try and do this. Denounce the shame, people. That's why we're here tonight, I think. Because I believe we can't talk about equality and ask for equality if we have shame about who we are. And I think it's about time we all started to be a little more proud of who and what we are. As you know, thank you. You know, I'm sure Mr. Bush doesn't really hate all gay people. I mean, how could he when so many important people in his party are gay? And I'm sure that whole amendment to the Constitution thing is only to appease some of his more zealous and deep-pocketed followers on the religious right. And I'm certain Tom Cruise doesn't hate us. He certainly manages to go to work with quite a few of us, and quite a lot of us go and see his films. And I'm sure if pressed, lots of rappers who propagate gay hate would say they don't mind us that much. It's just that words like faggot and nigger and bitch mean something else to them than they do to us, and we should just get over it. I bet all those people, I bet they've all known some gays, and I bet they've said they're actually quite nice, right? Well, guess what? I know some people who are straight. I know some people who are black. I know some people who are Scientologists. I even know some people who are Republicans. And I would never, ever expect them to sit back and stay quiet whilst comments I made about them contributed to them being ashamed of who they are, of them being prejudiced or persecuted or not thought of as my equal, and even of being physically attacked. I would never do that because I believe that we are all equal. I believe the argument and discourse are good and necessary. I believe we can disagree about politics or religion or culture, but I do not believe that those beliefs should ever be the cause for inequality, intolerance, or persecution of any kind. Why then, tell me someone please, should a person's sexuality or gender orientation? Why? People hate because they're ignorant. And we all know that when we're exposed to that which we're afraid of, we stop being so afraid. It's the reason why the red states are in the middle of the country. If they could only move places like Ohio to the coast, I wouldn't have to be here tonight, you know? But until that happens, we need to do everything we can to counteract the hatred and shame that so many people are propagating. They are wrong, and we are not. But we need to be strong in this fight, and we need to call them on it every single time. Equality, true equality, sometimes seems so far away, but it isn't really. It happened just a few weeks ago in Canada, where equal rights and the right to marry is now open to every citizen of that country. Go Canada! And it also just happened in Spain. And I would like to end tonight by quoting the Spanish Premier, José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero, who, in a speech to Parliament about his country's decision to legalise not just same-sex marriage, but the right to adopt children for same-sex couples, he so eloquently summed up everything that I think brings us all out here tonight. And this is what he said. He said, "Today, the Spanish society answers to a group of people who during many years have been humiliated, whose rights have been ignored, whose dignity has been offended, their identity denied, and their liberty oppressed. Today, the Spanish society grants them the equality they deserve, recognises their rights, respects their dignity, affirms their identity, and restores their liberty. It is true they're only a minority, but their triumph is everyone's triumph. It is also the triumph of those who oppose this law, even though they do not know this yet, because it is the triumph of liberty. Their victory makes all of us, even those who oppose this law, better people. It makes our society better. This law will generate no evil. Its only consequence will be the avoiding of suffering for decent human beings. A society that avoids senseless suffering of decent human beings is a better society." Hear, hear to that, I say. Go Spain! Viva España! Thank you. Thank you so much for this honour. It really is an honour, and let us all pledge to stand proud and stay strong in the fight for our liberty and our equality so that the land of the free can live up to its name once more. Thank you.